Tarkov patch notes 0.14.00 have dropped. I know I'm kind of late to the party on stuff, but I am a noob to the game. I've bought the game probably 2 years ago now, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. I know that when I have a really good run, successful run, the enjoyment from that is really, really high. But also if I get a lot of loot and then I die, the lows are pretty low. So I really like this game, and what's really neat about it is it's very advanced, and I feel like this is a nice future to the PvP genre, PvP shooter genre, because it's like a simulator shooter is what I'd like to call it. They just updated stuff that I'm going to get into that I'm really, really excited about. So let's just dive into it. I know you guys are here for that. So by the way, I am the Agent Slick Slayer. You can call me Slick. Let's dive in. We present the Escape from Tarkov 0.14.00 patch notes. There will be a wipe with the patch. This update will not affect the Tarkov arena and player progress. So a lot of people were wondering if the arena is going to reset as well on their player progress. It will not, apparently. New content. Ground Zero. The Ground Zero location, situated in the city center of Tarkov, has been added to the game. Location features a large number of infrastructure facilities of the modern city: banks, cafes, restaurants, stores, pharmacies, and so on. All this is towered by the skyscrapers of Tarkov. In the very center of the location is the main Russian branch office of Terra Group, where the original conflict began. The most violent clashes between USEC PMC operatives and Oman took place on the facility premises. The location is intended for beginner players from level 1 to 20. PMCs of higher levels, 20 plus, will not be able to access this location. Scavs will have access to the location at any player level. New starter quests have been added to the location. Visual cues for new players have been added to the location. Quests debut checking, renamed to background check. Shortage, Supplier, Gunsmith, Part 1 received update text descriptions. So I'm really, really happy for this Ground Zero here. I've never reached, I don't think I've gone past level 20. And that's because I had to take off work early today. And it just so happens I'm able to maybe jump into this game. But usually I have like 3 nights to play games. And I'm busy with Destiny 2, if you're familiar with my content. And that's a lot of time because I'm doing raids. I'm helping people out. Join the Discord if you want to help out with Destiny 2 raids. So I don't have a lot of time to dive into games. And by the time I get to Tarkov or get back to Tarkov after a wipe, it's been several months. People are geared up and I just get rolled because I don't have the weaponry to go up against the people that are kitted out. I still have fun. But I'm really excited to see how well, keeping it at this level for PMC players is going to do. Now, it sounds like a scav at any player. This might be interesting. I'm wondering if maybe the scavs will have like kind of horrible loadouts to where the experienced players that farm this location are really, really at a handicap. I don't know how the scavs, how they determine the weaponry you get and stuff like that. But I'm very excited to see how this area will go on, will survive throughout this wipe, because the later on in the game, the more important Ground Zero will be. Let me see if I can make this bigger. All right, I went ahead and made it a little bit bigger. Sorry about that. All right, so there is a new boss, Colin Tay. A new boss, Colin Tay, has been added to Streets of Tarkov. He's a former officer of the MVD, Ministry of International Affairs. During his service in law enforcement, he had a reputation as a vile man, whose behavior was sometimes feared by his co-workers. During his work, he often resorted to his favorite method of interrogation, a rubber baton, as well as other non-statutory pressure on someone who was not to his liking. Thanks to his physical strength and bold temperament, after the events of the Terra Group scandal, he formed a gang and began to do what he himself was recently supposed to combat: looting and banditry. However, even before the conflict, he often provided protection to local businessmen. For example, his good relations with Kaban are well known. Kalante has a small number of guards, prefers to stay in one position, and occasionally patrols his territory. He feels he has the upper hand, he may switch to his police baton. If he feels he has the upper hand, he may switch to his police baton. He lives in the area around Klimov Shopping Mall and the Tarkov Academy of Ministry of Internal Affairs. So a new boss, I think is kind of funny, and it'd be really, really awesome to see just this freaking character just running at you with a rubber baton. Like, that's kind of cool. I really never experienced a lot of boss fights, except maybe one in Factory. And I think it's really neat addition to the game. It sort of changes the dynamic. Of course, I don't know how long these bosses have been around. I'm just getting really serious about this game. So bear with me. I'm a noob. But maybe this video suits other beginner players as well. Let me know. Kaban's new guards. Boss Kaban is joined by his closest associates, Bashmach and Gus. Since the time of Kaban's active involvement in businesses, they have served as his loyal associates, solving many delicate issues for him. Their loyal service and their exuberant character made them his most trusted confidants. In their spare time, these two dandies like to dress up as at Ragman's Place and original illegal street racing through the streets of... They like to dress up at Ragman's Place and organize illegal street racing through the streets of Tarkov in tuned cars from Command's dealership. Sorry, I'm just really hyped to get into the game, so I am sort of speed reading, and I apologize if I suck at speed reading. That's interesting though that they like to kind of like they dress up like dandies. What does that even mean? And organize illegal street races through the streets of Tarkov. That is cool. That'd be cool if you could see that. You know, they're just street racing and shooting you from their cars. I don't know if that's even possible in the game. Bashmach and Gus always stay close to Kaban and charge in a battle for him. They prefer their unique clothes to their battle gear, though there are occasional exceptions. Bashmach has a special fondness for machetes and Gus for crowbars. All right, I had to kind of cut the video real quick because my kiddos are fighting over their new Nintendo Switch that grandma got them. All right, Shoreline rework. Visually reworked most of the landscape, keeping the main points of interest in contact. Added a new area, a small cattle farm, which is home to smugglers and scavs. Updated the light sources. Optimized most of the location, completely redesigned the calling system. Reworked location borders, concrete fence replaced by minefields and snipers in most areas. Location is also slightly expanded in some areas. Now, I always have trouble when they do this. I just walk on minefields or get sniped. Like, I'm just clueless. Reworked some points of interest, including the addition of new quests and activities in several previous empty zones. Some areas have been reworked to improve gameplay, added a river crossing, reworked almost all elevations and sniper positions, as well as scav areas of interest, etc. Added more than 30 new containers and Jaeger stashes, fixed over 1,200 visual and minor bugs. That's a lot of bugs. New weapons, equipment, and loot. Added a number of new items, weapon modifications, equipment, and a customization. New weapon, KB-9A91, 9x39 compact assault rifle, a KB Visk 94, 9x39 rifle, a SIG MCX Spear 6.8x51 assault rifle. It's a 2.77 Fury. What does that even mean? See, I don't even know weaponry. And I think this game is really, really awesome for people that are into weapons and guns because, man, this gets detailed with that. I don't even know how to read these. Terev RPD 762 by 39 machine gun oh, they just repeated that. Oh, an RPDN 762 by 39 machine gun. Okay. Updated the models and animations for the SKS 762 39 carbine. Right. I'm interested in that. I always like the SKS for some reason. I don't even know if it's good, but I'm excited to look at that. Changes and new mechanics. Now, this is where it gets into sort of the meat of what separates this game from other shooters. And what I think is an amazing, future goal for a lot of games, and it may be too advanced for like a arcade shooter or arena shooter, but as a PvP guy, I love how detailed this can get. And like I said, to me, it's a simulator. It's a simulation, you know? Let's take a look. Achievements. An achievement system has been added to the game. Players will receive achievements upon completing various objectives. Earned achievements will not be lost with wipes. You can view the earned achievements on the Achievements tab on the character screen. Hall of Fame. A new hideout zone, Hall of Fame, has been added to the game. The zone serves as a place where you can display mementos. For displaying the dog tags of players of the opposite faction killed by your PMC, you get a bonus to combat skill leveling. The higher the level of the eliminated player, the greater the skill bonus. You can add items to your favorites, such items will be displayed in your profile. New hitbox and armor system. Here we go. It gets detailed. The head is divided into separate, simple hit zones, which can coincide with the protection zones of helmets and masks. 3 hit zones have been added to the head area: front, neck, throat, back of the neck, and a face collider. Thorax and stomach hit zones are divided into front, back, sides. The pelvic hit zone is divided into front, groin, and back, buttocks. Gotta get that buttocks in there. Hits to these zones cause damage to the stomach zone. Forearm hit zones have been reduced in diameter. The death screen now shows more detailed information about the area that was fatally wounded. For example, thorax, upper back. So yeah, I mean, you play a Call of Duty, you play a Destiny 2, you play a Fortnite, you play a PUBG. You do not have this many hit zones that could get hit and make you bleed. And the idea, you get shot from whatever. The idea is these coincide with armor you can get and loot for in the game. So you can wear a certain kind of armor or helmet or whatever, and it protects that hit zone. So it's great. It's great. I really like the detail of that. Because you don't just die if you get hit in the arm, you bleed out. And that's, like I said, it's very simulator-like, right? Armor. 37 ballistic plates have been added to the game. 7 for the chest section, 6 for the rear section, 20 universal plates for the chest and rear sections, and 4 for the side sections. Ballistic plates have their own parameters specific to armor, strength, material, armor damage, absorption, ricochet parameters, armor type, etc. Ballistic plates are divided into different formats depending on the size and format of the armor section. Ballistic plates cannot be inserted or removed while wearing the body armor. It must be removed first. Meaning, I wonder, how at Call of Duty they changed like the whole like armor system or whatever to where if you get hit in Warzone, instead of like a shield or whatever, you're doing like your plates. So you always see people just loading up on plates as they're running. And I've never worn a ballistic vest, but I'm wondering, is that even possible to do that while you're wearing it? So it's cool that it sounds like you can do this in raid. And yeah, I think it's kind of cool. The visual appearance of ballistic plate depends on its durability. Ballistic plates can spawn in appropriate areas and containers on locations. Ballistic plates are affected by the light armor and heavy armor skills depending on the type of ballistic plate, light and heavy. Added separate ballistic plate zones on the character, visually matching the location in the body armor. The hit registration zones of ballistic plates of the same format have the same position in all body armor and plate carriers with slots for this plate format. The dimension of the ballistic plate zones are the same as the average dimensions of the real ballistic plates of that format. Ballistic plate slots and integrated armor slots have been added to body armor vests and plate carriers. All ballistic plates of the corresponding format can be installed in the armor plate slots. The slots of some armor plates can be fitted with plates of several formats. For example, the chest section of the ANA Tactical M2 plate carrier can be fitted with SAPI and granite format plates. Body armor protection is no longer uniform. It now depends on what areas the body armor visually protects. For example, no body armor protects the armpits. So watch out. Make sure your stinky armpits are not in the way of getting shot. I guess. I don't know. The durability of body armor has been converted to durability of installed armor. An armored collar that protects the neck hitbox has been added for a large number of body armors. Body armor vest costs, weight, and penalties have been adjusted. Some of the costs, weight, and penalties have been moved to ballistic plates. Integrated armor slots have been added to a large number of helmets. Helmet durability has been converted to the durability of integrated armor. Integrated armor in body armor and helmets. The protection armor and helmets is divided into separate zones depending on which section this zone protects, sometimes several zones. These are the slots with integrated armor. Integrated armor zones have their own separate durability. For example, you can now reduce your opponent's chest zone armor durability and not damage the durability of other armor zones if you shoot them in the chest. In the inspection window, you can see exactly which areas of the vest or helmet are protected and what their durability rating is. Integrated armor cannot be removed or replaced. Each integrated armor has its own armor-specific settings, durability, material, armor damage, absorption, ricochet parameters, armor type, and others. Integrated armor is affected by the light armor and heavy armor skills depending on the type of armor, light and heavy. So what this means is maybe you kill a PMC, you're going to loot their body to protect your scav, and you still have good bits of that armor still left. And maybe you have some plates on you. You could just replace those plates while you're in the raid or something like that, because it says integrated armor zones have their own separate durability. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Balancing. Damage parameter on various armor materials has been adjusted to reflect the new durability values. Repairs. When repairing body armor, durability is distributed according to the following priorities: ballistic plates, chest, back, sides, and then integrated armor: chest, collar, back, pelvis, sides, other. You can also repair ballistic plates as separate items. When repairing helmets, durability is distributed according to the following priorities: integrated armor, face, top, eyes, jaws, back of head, ears, other. Integrated armor can receive an enhancement when it is repaired. Chances for armor to receive common and rare enhancements while being repaired have been increased. Interface. You can now see the durability of different armor zones and ballistic plates by hovering over the durability digit of a vest or helmet. This also works for flea market offers. You can see brief information about the presence and quantity of ballistic plates in the posted flea market offers. Slots for ballistic plates and integrated armor, if the vest has them, has been added to the vest and helmet inspector screens. The order of the slot is always the same. Armor class is now displayed with a Roman numeral icon on the ballistic plate icon and in the armor class list. Flea market and trading, so they changed some of that. And I also think what's another amazing part of this game that kind of keeps it interesting and going and stuff is the flea market. I think that's a great addition. The flea market ban has been removed from a large number of body armors. Ballistic plates of protection class 5 and 6 cannot be sold on the flea market. Ballistic plates have been added to the inventory of various traders. All right, here's another little fun thing that'll affect your gameplay if you've been playing and you're not used to this. Vaulting and obstacle interaction. Obstacle vaulting has been added to the game. There are two types of vaulting: climbing the obstacle and remaining on it. For example, climbing a crate to fire at the enemy from top of it. Vaulting over an obstacle, for example, jumping over a small fence to take a shortcut. Each of these types has different animations for different heights, different parameters of stamina and arm stamina consumption, and different action speeds depending on the negative effects. During a sprint, you can jump over obstacles without the goal of climbing them, vaulting. If vaulting is performed while walking, the loudness of such actions will be noticeably louder than jumping and sprinting. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess like you go over it really quick, it's less noise. If you kind of like, slowly climb over it, you're on that object for longer, so it's going to make noise for longer. For the convenience of overcoming obstacles, an option has been added to the game settings: vaulting over medium obstacles, where you can choose auto or hotkey. If you select auto, your character will climb over medium and low height obstacles by himself. If you select hotkey, you will need to press the jump key to initiate vaulting, but this way you can control the character's actions more precisely. The character now stops if he hits a wall while walking or sprinting. This game has so many little hotkeys and little shortcuts and things that you have to get used to. And what's gonna suck is like my tiny little 60% keyboard is just gonna run out of options here. So we'll see if I have to adjust any of this stuff. Shoulder transition. The ability to move firearms from the right shoulder to the left shoulder and back has been added to the game. This can be useful when you want to fire from the left side while behind cover. Shoulder transition is available during walking, crouching, leaning, and other actions. Shoulder transitions is not available while prone and overhead and side blind firing. Positioning the weapon on the left shoulder imposes a penalty. The weapon has additional sway when moving. So all the game, everyone in Escape from Tarkov is a right-handed person. Because when you do the left, you're going to get a penalty. So it says, control settings. Warning, all control settings have been reset to default. Crap. That's going to freaking mess me up. Added shoulder transition action key. Default is mouse number 4. Added vaulting action. Default key is space. Press type is continuous. Oh, press type is... so you hold it down. The jump action has been reassigned to spacebar key with release press type. Try these control settings in-game before changing them. So they want us to try it out to see if the changes are good. Preset ammo loading. You can now save presets for loading ammunition into magazines sequentially, as well as quickly loading magazines using these presets. Players can name each preset, select the appropriate loading preset, view its contents, and compare it to other loading presets. The magazine loading preset is divided into 3 blocks. Top, how many and which cartridge will be at the top of the magazine belt, which cartridge will be first. Loop, how many and which cartridges will be cycled in the magazine belt. Bottom, how many and which cartridges will be at the bottom of the magazine belt, i.e. which cartridge will be last. You can create up to 30 unique magazine loading presets with a limit of 5 per caliber. This one is going to be interesting because whenever you get a freaking full auto weapon, you want to pop off, that gun is just recoiling all over the place. So let's see how these new recoil mechanics, how better they will be. Hopefully, the recoil mechanic has been improved to make it more realistic and comfortable for players. A specific emphasis has been placed on improving the feel of semi-auto and short burst shooting. New recoil mechanic now includes a variety of flexible settings, allowing for balance adjustments based on analytical data and other feedback. All weapon recoil parameters have been rebalanced. I'm excited to try that. Oh man, we have a lot going on. Lightkeeper services. After completing certain Lightkeeper quests, you will be able to unlock access to the following services. Sacred Amulet Service. Lightkeeper gives the character the item Sacred Amulet. While the character is wearing the amulet, all cultists on all locations do not attack you unless provoked. Rogue Supporter Service. When a player purchases this service in that raid, rogues will not attack the player who order the service regardless of their faction. In addition, rogues will provide fire support by attacking targets that the player who purchased this service has directed their attention to. Zaichi Support. I don't even know how to say that. Service. When a player buys a service in that raid, Zachary, is that how it's spelled? Will support the player by firing at the targets the target is attacking. Weapon Rack. Now you can add the displayed weapon to your favorites. These weapons will be displayed in your profile. Viewable profiles. Added the ability to view other players' profile page. In a player's profile, you can view gear equipped by the player, brief statistics, rare achievements earned, favorite weapons displayed at the weapon rack, favorite items displayed in the Hall of Fame. Player profiles can be viewed on any screen of the game, including the raid exit screen after dying to another player. AI. Adjusted peaceful and combat behavior of AI when moving from one area to another within one location. Balances changes to trading. That's a lot. They're changing all this stuff. Balance changes to quests. expanded quest rewards. You will now be rewarded more often with unlocking previously unavailable traded offers, barters, ammos, and armor crafting recipes. Change the order of skier quest between Friend from the West Part 2 and Setup. New order. Friend from the West Part 2, Setup. Inform means armed. Chumming. Bullshit. Silent caliper. Change the quest objectives for Punisher Part 2, Punisher Part 4, the Tarkov Shooter Part 4. Balances changes to crafting. Adjusted armor crafts now to make an armor vest. You need to find a set of fabrics and ballistic plate that fits the form factor. Adjusted ammo crafts reduced the production time and costs of cheap ammunition. Balancing changes to ammo. The damage and armor penetration parameters of different caliber ammunition have been revised and adjusted. Balance changes to muzzle devices. The muzzle devices have been rebalanced. Suppressor muzzles, adapters, flash hiders, and compensators. BTR. A BTR 82A has been added to streets of Tarkov, traveling between different stop points in the city. The BTR driver offers various services to his passengers. Taxi. The player can travel to any available point in the city in total safety. Move items to stash. Service. The player can send items to the stash with the status found in raid. This service is available only for PMCs. Cover fire service. The player can order covering fire with the help of the BTR weaponry, which provides the safest possible drop-off at the stopping point. The service is available only after purchasing the taxi service. The service is only available for PMCs. This is cool, and I think it's going to be awesome because you can just keep on going. Keep on looting, keep on going. I think that's awesome. List of stop points on streets of Tarkov: Pinewood Hotel, Radina Cinema, Collapsed Crane, Cardinal Apartment Complex, Tram, City Center. The BTR is neutral to all players unless a player starts attacking it first. If someone purchases the covering fire service, the BTR becomes hostile. When the service ends, the BR becomes neutral to all players again. The cost of the service depends on the faction: Bear, US, EAC, Scav, Karma, Charisma, skill level, and travel distance. Now this is going to be interesting. Because there's, is it just going to be like you're going to see a bunch of players just chasing this vehicle around trying to purchase it? That's going to be interesting. Quality of life. The visual effects of the painkillers has been changed. This one was big. No one liked the change, so I wonder what their new change is. The door to the expanded part of the hideout is now always open after construction. Changed the camera system in the hideout from rail to free camera. To move in space, use WASD. To rotate the camera, hold MMB and mouse movement. To zoom the camera, scroll wheel. List of changes. Fixed several bugs, visual bugs and artifacts in Streets of Tarkov and Shoreline. Fixed incorrect spawn points of random containers on all locations. Fixed a problem that led to the lack of damage registration from melee weapons in some cases. Fixed incorrect behavior of rogues when attacking the hangar buildings on the lighthouse. Fixed an issue where killed bots would remain standing. Fixed the lack of muzzle flash when looking at a shooting player. Fixed AI behavior when interacting with stationary weapons. Fixed incorrect values of some parameters in character statistics. Fixed incorrect camera behavior in the hideout when scrolling in the UI elements. Fixed several compatibility issues with weapon attachments. Fixed the ability to hear outdoor sounds while inside the bunker on reserve. And there it is. There is the long list of freaking patch notes. I'm going to leave a link to this forum here in the description below. You'll probably catch me live, so when you watch this video, you'll probably see the little my profile with a red ring around it saying I'm live. I plan on playing this on Friday as well, so Fridays on my channel. I also stream on Kick. I also stream on Twitch. Kick is the home. Kick is where the action's at least I'd like to be, so I'm growing that platform. You'll see me live playing Escape from Tarkov on Fridays, so join me, watch this noob get slain out, and hopefully the noob area will help me learn how to play. Yeah? Well, I'll see you all in the next video, in the next live stream. And as always, keep on slaying out there.